Can you become rich without having wealthy parents? Well, according to stats, the majority of millionaires are actually first generation. So no, you are not at a disadvantage if you do not have a silver spoon, and you are not disadvantaged if you have £0 to your name. And as someone who is in her 20s that had £0 to her name but has started her investment journey, here are 5 key things that I've learned that you also need to know if you are building financial freedom from nothing. You need to have money access abilities, and the best way for me to describe this is you either need to be able to make money or you need to be able to raise money. The most common way that people make money is by having a full-time job and potentially having a side hustle or starting a business. There are smart things that you can do to increase how quickly you build your investment pot. So you could prioritize going into industries that have higher paying salaries. You can also prioritize career progression. So rather than being with an organization for 5 years or 10 years and moving up the ladder ever so slowly, you could apply for jobs every year or every few months that are paying higher and allow you to develop your skill sets a lot faster than your current employer would do. Moving on to what I said earlier about raising money. Raising money, simply put, is being able to access an individual or an organization who have a pot of money that they are willing to give you in hope that you'll give them back that money with return. And this is how venture capital, it's how angel investing, and it's how some property deals are done. Another option when it comes to raising is taking out a loan. However, the economy is not what it used to be a couple years ago. So interest rates are so high, and this could potentially affect the financial benefits of having the money in the first place. So it's definitely something to take into consideration. The second thing, when you are trying to get rich from nothing, you need to know how to invest. Reason being, you cannot work 24 hours. It's physically impossible. And you need something that will work for you in your absence. You need your money to be working whilst you're asleep, whilst you are on holiday. Otherwise, your output will always be dependent on how much time you are working, which is not sustainable. And I don't care what people say about savings account. Savings account won't change your life for the better. Think about it. If you had £1,000 in your savings account and they were giving you 4.1% interest every year, you would get, what, £410 a year, which is roughly £3.42 a month. £3.42 won't even pay for parking at Westfield for an hour. So why would you leave your money in a savings account, whereas you are better off putting it into an investment vehicle that can make you potentially more than 4.1%? And there are loads of different investment vehicles out there. The one that you pick will be dependent on what your goal is, how quickly you're trying to achieve your financial number. But things like property, invest in the stock market, starting your own business, the upsides are more than 4.1%. The third thing that you need to know, you need to change your network. And I used to hear this, and I can't lie, it used to make me cringe because I was like, oh my goodness, not this again. But it's actually true, and it's not true from a monetary standpoint, it's the mindset. When you are with people who are making crazy amounts of money per month, their mindset is completely different, because the things that may seem impossible to you at where you are currently, they have done. So they know that it's not impossible. You just need to have a strategy and you need to execute. And thinking and being exposed to different environments is completely priceless. Like, it can change how you see business, it can change how you see your career. And those subtle changes in your mindset will basically allow you to make better decisions going forward. The Bible says that iron sharpeneth iron. So chances are, when you are around people who are hitting certain milestones easily on a monthly basis, you'll begin to think like them and reason like them. Practically, how do you change your network? One, attend an event, but not attending the events for the sake of who I'm going to meet. Attending the event because it was something that I was interested in, or it was tackling a question that I would have. The second thing is not being afraid to connect with people on a one-to-one basis. So if you see someone that has done something really admirable, there is no harm in congratulating them and having a short conversation with them on how they did it, or hearing their story and just learning from them and trying to practically execute out the gems that they drop in that conversation. The fourth thing is knowing your value. What do you bring to the table? And I mean that in the sweetest way possible. Just because money is a transaction, no one gives you money for free unless they're super sweet. But like in general, when you pay for something, you're expecting something in return. If you pay for, I don't know, a car cleaning service, at the end of the car cleaning, you're expecting your car to be successfully cleaned. In essence, you want to identify your skills, and then you want to fine-tune those skills and be better and become an expert in those skill sets. And then you want to do something called skill stacking, which I talked about in one of my previous videos that I will link here. The reason why I stress so much about skill sets and what you bring to the table is your credentials need to speak for you, especially if you are going down the raising money route. Just because in a world full of mistrust and just craziness, people need to know that they can trust you with their money, and that by them giving you their money, they're gonna get more in return. And I guess the last one, it's not really a point, but just something that I thought to share as like a FYI. Please be realistic. If you are someone who is trying to get rich ASAP, then be mindful that your approach is likely to be more aggressive and maybe a bit more risky than someone who is trying to get rich later on in life, because there's just a lot more time at hand to play with and to take advantage of compounding and so forth. One thing that I will say is when it comes to building wealth from nothing, there are unspoken sacrifices that have to be made, and I might do a video talking about that. But you may not be able to go on holiday as frequently as your peers. You may not be able to be as trendy as your peers. You may have to change your living situation temporarily. All areas of your life will need to alter in order to achieve whatever your end goal is. And that brings me to the end of this video on the things that you need to know and the skills that you need to have if you're trying to get rich in your 20s when you are coming from nothing. I hope you found it helpful, and definitely take a look at the description box because I'm going to put some useful gems in there. And I'm also going to link a list of videos that I think you guys will enjoy at the end of this one. And that is it from me. I will see you in my next one, and have a lovely day. Bye!